Welcome to Smithtown Spotlight. I'm your host, Bobby Rabbit, and today we are here at the Town of Smithtown Animal Shelter and Adoption Center, located at 410 Middle Country Road. In a little bit, we're going to go inside and we're going to speak with the Animal Shelter Supervisor, George Beatty, as well as some of the volunteers that spend their time here during the week training and taking care of the cats and dogs that currently reside here. Okay, so we're here with the Animal Shelter Supervisor, George Beatty. George, thank you for taking time out of your day to answer some of our questions.
My pleasure.
How long have you been with the Animal Shelter?
I've been here since 1985.
Okay, so you've been here for quite a while. What other types of animals are here at the shelter?
Well, we handle primarily dogs and cats, but through the years we've also handled various farm animals, goats, pigs, a pony,
okay, wow, so that's quite
escape pets, you know, snakes.
Do you have restrictions on what you can take in or have surrendered here, or can you pretty much just take any animal in that someone may not be able to handle?
As long as it's licensed by the DEC, you know, we'll take in anything. In the past, we've had people surrender their various types of exotic birds, guinea pigs, snakes.
Oh, okay. Nothing like alligators or anything like that?
No, that's not permitted, so we don't deal with that.
What is the protocol for someone who would notices a stray or would like to surrender their pet or something like that? What would they have to go through to contact you?
All right, well, if you see a stray animal, a stray dog, you can give us a call at 360-7575, and we'll go out and pick it up. That's Monday through Saturday, 8 to 5. Okay. If possible, you could hold the animal overnight till the morning. We'll pick it up then, first thing in the morning. If that's not possible, you could call the police department for an immediate response, but that's only for an emergency purpose only. Okay. People do surrender their pets, unfortunately, for good reasons. Maybe their living conditions have changed and they're moving where they won't be permitted pets. So then they will surrender a dog and their cats. We have all these cats here have been surrendered. Oh, okay. These were once owned cats. Allergies becomes an issue. Newborn baby into the family, allergic to the cat or the dog for that matter. And we endeavor to rehome them. Okay. And we're pretty successful at that. Now, if someone sees a stray cat as opposed to a dog, do you handle that also, or is it just dogs that are stray that you handle? Just dogs. Just dogs? Right. Currently there are no laws pertaining to stray cats. We do assist various neighborhoods if they have a colony of feral cats. Okay. You know, we'll offer trapping and transportation for low-cost spaying and neutering. Okay. You know, the neighbors get together and they'll come up with the fee. It's $50 per cat. Okay. But we'll facilitate that by trapping the animals and bringing them to a low-cost clinic and then releasing the animals back in that neighborhood. Okay. And we've been very successful with that. Okay. Yeah, it's worked out very well. The entire town of Smithtown, you guys will pick up from any road, anywhere? All the hamlets within the town of Smithtown will respond to. Now, I know you have a lot of volunteers that help out here and everything. How would someone who's interested in volunteering go about getting the process started? Well, they could just simply stop by and discuss it with us, or they give us a call first at 360-7575. And they would, the requirements are that you be at least 16 years and older, or if you're under 16, must be accompanied by an adult. Okay. And it's quite fun. The volunteers, of which we have many. We have both dog volunteers and cat volunteers. Okay. Where they're here every day. They could be retirees. We have the highway department fellas come in on their lunch hour, come in and walk dogs, which is, they enjoy it, the dogs enjoy it. Right. We have a lot of, quite a few Town of Smithtown employee retirees coming in and spending time here. So it works out very well, and it's a bit of a social gathering too. They develop friendships, so they socialize outside the shelter as well. Now, in terms of adoption, are there any restrictions for who can come in and adopt a pet? Do you do like a background check or something like that? Similar to that, yeah. We do have an adoption questionnaire that they fill out. We want to know, what their past experiences have been with, prior pets. And we'll try to match the proper pet, be it a dog or a cat, with the proper lifestyle of that prospective owner. Now, I understand that on the website there's
either part of the Smithtown info and then click on the animal shelter, or is there a separate website where prospective adopted parents or whatever you could say for the pets can view some of the animals?
Go to SmithtownInfo.com and click the link to adopt a pet, and you'll see photographs of most every pet we have here now, be it the cat or the dogs, with a little bit of information about each pet. And that gives you a good start. And then at that point, then you come down and actually meet with the pet.
Meet with the pet, right.
And see if it's a match. We also have people who currently own a dog. We would request that they bring their dog down first, so we'll do an interaction between the new dog and the current dog.
Right.
Make sure they get on well.
They get along.
And we want that to happen here in neutral territory, because there is a pecking order.
Right.
And that works out very well, and that happens all the time.
Right. Now, is there any specific protocol for if an animal in a neighborhood is being violent towards neighbors or something like that, or if a violent stray dog is found? What is the procedure for that?
Well, they would call the office here, and we would provide a response. We do respond to stray dogs, and also dogs that might be chasing joggers or chasing kids on bicyclists, and we'll resolve that situation. We also handle injured animals. Unfortunately, a fact of life here in suburbia, dogs do get hit by cars, and for that matter, cats and wildlife as well. Right. And we respond to that as well, pick that up. If this injury happens after hours, we request that you call 911, and they'll get in touch with us at home, and we'll provide a response then. And
now, for an animal that happens to be hit by a car and killed on roadways, are state roads handled differently than town roads? Is there a different number to call?
Yeah, we'll pick up any animal that's been struck and killed by a car on town roads. Right. On the state and county roads, you can call the shelter, and we'll take the information and refer the call over to the county or the appropriate state. Okay. We also handle, just while we're on this topic, we also handle injured wildlife. Okay. We do get a lot of calls for sick raccoons. It's not rabies at this point. Right. Rabies is not in Smithtown yet. But the raccoons are coming up injured. We also respond to distressed wildlife. Okay. Especially this time of year, ducklings find themselves in the bottom of storm drains. Right. And we'll respond to that and reunite mother with ducklings. Okay. Now, we are here with Kathleen, who is one of the volunteers here at the animal shelter. Kathleen, thank you for taking some time out of your day to talk with us.
You're very welcome.
How long have you been a volunteer here at the animal shelter?
A little bit over a year.
Okay, and I guess you're a dog walker.
Dog volunteer, yes.
Dog volunteer. Do you get to pick if you want to work with cats or dogs, or do they just say, we're looking for someone to work with the dogs today or the cats?
Well, the shelter always needs volunteers for the cats and the dogs, but when I came in, I did choose to work with the dogs mainly. I will go visit the cats every now and again, but I do stay mainly with the dogs.
And how did you come to volunteer here at the animal shelter?
My friend was actually a volunteer here, and she was working with a feral dog who needed help being socialized a little bit more with people, and she asked me if I would come down and help out, which I did, and he actually has had a very happy ending because he's actually now adopted to a sanctuary where he's doing very well.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Now, what types of responsibilities do you have here when you volunteer?
I take out the dogs, and I work mainly on behavior, real life skills for when people come in to adopt them, teaching them things like come back when called, focused on their handler, sitting and having calm time with a person so that when they go into a home, the person and the dog will be more successful together, because the dog already has a few skills to back him up.
Right, right. Now, have you ever come across any less social dogs or anything here that really need help, or on the same frame, some over-aggressive dogs that may need to be trained a little bit, or are they all pretty much just all friendly animals here?
A lot of times what happens is you'll see behavior from what the dog has gone through in the past, and what I try to work on when I come to hang out with the dogs is trust with people, which is a huge factor when you're working with dogs, whether you own a dog or you come here to volunteer. Right. Teaching dogs, a lot of times in the home, in a previous home or on the street, they found out that maybe going to someone is not such a good thing. Right. So yes, the dogs here are very friendly, and sometimes they just need a few skills, sometimes they need need to know that people, are good.
Right.
And then also some, come back when called, which is the hand signal and the verbal, which, a lot of us volunteers do.
Right. Okay. Now, who is this?
Okay, this is Corey. Let's see if we can get him to turn around a little bit. This is Corey. He's approximately 2 years old, and he is extremely affectionate. He loves people. He is an amazing cuddler, and he is extremely intelligent.
Now, is he full size?
Yes.
He is full size.
Absolutely. And he does very well with all of the commands that he's learning. And he actually walks on a very loose leash. Okay. So, which is another one of the things we do as volunteers here, which is walk the dogs a lot to get them used to walking on a leash and coming back to us when they're at the end of their leash rather than yanking us down.
Now, I would guess that Corey is probably featured on the website
yes,
for
absolutely.
adoption. And what would be, if someone wanted to come down and adopt Corey, what would be the process for them? Would you come and walk with the person who wants to adopt him and everything?
If I'm here, I'm always willing to help the person out in any way that I can. They would come in, they would ask to meet him, which would be the best thing to do, would be to come out and walk with someone that works here and works with the dogs and knows the dog's personality, and then they would fill out an application and they would go further from there.
Okay, very good.